All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. My dad's working on his hair. He's got some issues. Apparently, he's got to figure out what he's got going on over there, and got to make sure he's looking good for you. All you single ladies out there. So if you're interested, go ahead and hit him up. We'll leave his email in the description down below. But with that being said, New York Outcast, please get us stars off right, brother.
All right. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
For however
All
much
right.
longer we're going to have a country. So,
Rob, with that being said, how you doing, man?
Doing all right, man. Been a busy Sunday. Had to cut a neighbor's yard, run about an hour out of town to do an estimate for a lady that's in dire need of help. So, and I had another guy trying to get me to go block some squirrels out of his house today, but I told him, I'm not even really supposed to be working today. So, got my car washed. So just finished dinner. So that's why I was a minute late there. So a couple burgers, but figured don't like chewing with earbuds on. I don't know, like something quick, but an actual meal, the pressures and stuff, I'd just rather not. So, but yeah, doing all right, man. Glad glad you're with us again. We got 2 consecutive shows in a month. I mean, something going on, or you missing us, or what's up, man?
You were complaining, so I had to make sure we had another show consecutively. So
there you go.
Trying to do my part, brother. Trying to do my part. Trying to be here when I can be here.
Shit, some of us get in trouble if we ain't got something to do.
Dude, again, I rely on some of you guys to, give me a kick in the ass every now and then and say, hey, dude, hey, get your shit in gear, get it right. So that's okay. I'm okay with that. Don't worry about that. I'm happy that people are out there saying, hey, we want the show, we want to see this, we want you here, and that's fine. It's good to have that. It's good to have a kick in the ass every now and then.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are happy to line up to give you one.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. I can almost guarantee that line is very, 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 very long. That's not an understatement. I can almost guarantee that line is very, very long, and that's okay. Again, hey, we do what we do around here, and we try to do shows as often as possible, but sometimes things happen, and I don't know where Alan is this week, unfortunately, but life happens. So maybe he's got something going on. That's okay. Shit happens. So, but we try to be here when we can be here. I'm feeling okay. Things are all right. So we're here. And 2 consecutive weeks in a row because someone was bitching and whining and crying, and that's okay. Again, please bitch, whine, cry, and tell me, hey, we want shows. I'll be here. I will be here as often as I can. I'm okay with that. Bama Dad, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Like I said, I'm redecorating the reloading room. So, reloading building. We got some Omni wall to put up with even gonna have some music activated LED backlighting.
You don't have to you got a club going on in there or what?
Do what?
You starting a club going on in there, or what? You're gonna be a
No,
hole up
the
in the
music
corner
part
next,
will
or
never the music part will never get turned on. It'll just, you can set whatever colors you want or anything like that. So it's just
He's trying to set the mood lighting. He doesn't have anyone to set it to, but he's trying to set the mood lighting.
yeah, for reloading.
I've had to install some of that stuff. So I mean, I think it's a trend that's been going around, like recessing it and trim up in your ceiling, and wherever you can, kind of, so it's not a direct. So you visually can't see it, but see the glow. But basically, yeah, it's been a thing lately. So I've had a couple jobs dealing with that, with whole houses wired, and one guy going all out and heating his floors and all types of stuff. But yeah, it definitely looks neat, and it's not too expensive. Now it's not, especially if
No,
a lot of the kits you can do yourself now. When they first came out, it was a little trickier if you wanted to buy something that was actually decent. But
if it
now
had
it's
LED in it, it was expensive.
yeah, now it's pretty affordable. So and there's other purposes too, in a sense. You could just, a lot of the light fixtures now have different ranges of light you can use. So you can buy an LED fixture for your living room, for example, and set it through like 6 to 12 different phases of light. With and different lights better for some people. Some people are more sensitive. Maybe you want it to be really bright. Maybe you want it to have a yellow tint down to a blue tint. There's all types of stuff with lighting. So yeah, it's cool
So the
though.
only thing,
It's
the only thing
fun to play with.
the only thing the reloading room is missing is a bathroom. So I have to come back in the house and go to the bathroom. So I found a
Uh,
all-in-one toilet and sink. And guess where it comes from? Guess where it comes from?
Fuck.
The state
Uh,
prison.
so it's a stainless steel, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, it'll work though. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's gonna give a
make
whole
sure
new
the
meaning.
camera's off, but it'll work.
It's gonna give a whole new meaning to the word casting room.
All
That's
right.
funny.
Jamie, how you doing, man?
Doing very good right now. You want me to show you?
Yeah, let's see it.
Grilled pork chops, which brings up a topic I'm debating in my mind. There you go. Look at that.
Look at those. Yeah,
That
buddy.
looks like the end of a tenderloin. That don't look like a pork chop.
What's your favorite barbecue sauce, guys?
Big Bob Gibson's.
See,
I don't know.
I like to keep it simple. I'm straight salt and pepper. I don't even go sauce, man. I just use salt and pepper.
Ooh, wee. On a
Man,
pork
that's
chop?
good.
On anything I'm smoking, barbecue or smoking, yeah, it's just salt and pepper, man. I don't mess with all these sauces, all the extra crap. Salt and pepper, dude.
This not smoked. This is grilled.
Right, but even if I was doing it, even if I was doing it on the barbecue, it's typically what I do. I'll let it sit and rest, and I'll salt and pepper it 24 hours prior to actually smoking it or putting it on the barbecue.
So myself, my favorite that I've ever had was actually dry rub ribs. So I don't know what seasoning they use, but as far as an actual sauce, I'm probably lean. We usually just grab the Kraft original. So sorry, nothing special here. I've tried the baby Ray's, and I've done a few different ones. Even you're probably not familiar because it's a Syracuse thing. Dinosaur is a restaurant, and Syracuse, which is famous for their sauce. That's pretty good, but nothing's like that's my go-to only sauce I'm gonna go to. I don't really have one of those, except that dry rub shit, which I don't know what they season it with, but to this day, that's our throughout my life. So I think if you can do it right, you can make it work dry. You know, and still talking about rib.
So Alan, I'm glad you're able to be here with us, brother. What you got going on? How you doing, man? And the question of the day is what kind of sauce when it comes to barbecue or smoking? What kind of thing do you do?
Oh man, it's still so bright here that I had no idea what time it was, and for some reason the alarm that I normally set for the show did not go off. So yeah, sorry to jump in a couple of minutes late. I'm doing pretty peachy. Standard fare for me, just work and trying to do some adulting. But as for barbecue sauces, I could probably tell you if I did the cooking, but I don't. I eat out probably more than a number of you combined. I've got a barbecue joint that I go to, Shorty's Barbecue, up in Des Moines. There's a number of different barbecue places, but Shorty's is pretty good. I have absolutely no idea what they use, nothing of the sort. But
is it vinegary or sweet?
Depending upon what you're looking for at that time.
They got more than one
barbecue or something. You know, some of them aren't a red sauce; they're a kind of a vinaigrette type sauce.
Yeah. Some of the stuff you can get is just like smoky and deep. Then you can get some more of a sweeter sauce, and then there's some sauces that I just don't even touch because that stuff is spicy as all get out, and I just cannot touch this stuff. It just doesn't agree with me in any way, shape, or form. But
hot's really become the thing. I guess the whole pepper craze thing brought it out, but I've never. I don't like any kind of ketchup based sauce that much. I like vinegar based sauce.
I can do hot. I have one challenge online, as a matter of fact, for those gummy bears, hot chips, shit like that, or whatever. But I don't prefer hot. I like to taste my food. Like if I'm going to get wings, I want to taste the chicken wings, not just have my mouth on fire. So I think there's a fine line. MREs, when it's food's bland, they give you that little miniature hot sauce bottle. It's you can dump that in on something. It adds a little bit, but you're not snotting everywhere, and I don't know.
No, you want to have some flavor, man. So especially if you're going to like a barbecue joint or a smoke joint or whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're spending good money. So the stuff needs to be up to frickin' par, and up to par is pretty high if you're going to be spending some decent money on this stuff. And so you want good flavor. You don't want them screwing around, and you want to make sure it's all good quality contents and what you're getting and stuff like that. So, yeah, whenever you go to these places, yeah, absolutely, 100%. You want to make sure it tastes good. It's falling off the bone if it's on the bone. You want it, falling apart regardless. All of that kind of thing. You want that meat to be nice and fucking juicy and all of that. You don't want to walk in somewhere and pay, astronomical amounts of fucking money for something that's hard as a rock and doesn't taste good. No, absolutely not.
That's kind of like lazy barbecue, where people just slather the outside with sauce. I mean, yeah, it tastes all right on the outside, but you get to the center and it's regular chicken. You know what I mean? There's no marinade. You know what I mean? It's
Right. No,
I don't want to pay
absolutely.
top shelf for that shit. That's for sure. I mean, or eat something that's super hot and it's the garbage material. There's a lot of hot shit you never even notice, and you're paying top dollar for the shit. So
yeah,
Sounds like the Buffalo
absolutely.
Wild Wings.
So like, I started smoking meat 2 years ago. And
How did you roll that stuff up?
That's because my landlord gave me a smoker. And so I started delving into that, and someone out in the side chat has been a huge help to me, and that would be New Texican. New Texican has been out there consistently helping me, giving me advice, walking me through the process. And I laugh about this when I say this, but I literally call him chef because he is the chef. He knows better than I know. So I give credit where credit is due. And to me, he is the chef. He knows more than I do, so I call him chef. And he laughs and all the rest of it, but that's literally, dude, I'm paying respect. Respect is given where respect is supposed to be given. So I pay respect to the guy who knows more than I know. And he's walked me through a lot of different things, a lot of different aspects of it. And I've smoked so many different things in the last 6 months. And everything that I smoked, I've had other people try, and they literally sit there and go, "What the fuck did you do?" I'm like, dude, I didn't do anything. I literally just threw it in the fucking smoker and, did this, did that. And they go, "Dude, best thing I ever fucking tasted."
One of the guys that worked
man.
for me got into smoking, and he's been doing it for about a year now. But I'm telling you what, every single time he brings something in, it's like sheer orgasmic. He can take some of the terriblest cuts of meat and turn it into these phenomenal chunks that just either you put it in your mouth and just squish it up against the roof of your mouth, and this stuff is like leftovers to him. I can't imagine what the fresh out of the smoker experience has at his house is right. But man, he has dialed it in.
Once you figure it out, it's insane. So when I first got the smokers, it's been almost 2 years since I got the smoker. And it's an electric smoker, brand spanking new in the box. Just said, hey, I'm not using it. You want it? I'm like, sure, why not? And the first thing I tried to do was a brisket, and I threw the brisket in there, and I let it sit overnight. Did 24 hours was salt, pepper, and some other stuff, and all the rest of it. And, I went off what the book said, and the book said, hour per pound, this, that, the other, whatever. And so based off of the book, when I pulled it out, it should have been good, right? Now, it probably could have used at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 more hours, honestly. It was decent, but it wasn't there. And so I kind of learned from that, okay, I got to pay more attention to what's actually going on with what's in there versus what the book's telling me to do and what other people are telling me to do. And so I reached out to New Texican, talked to New Texican a little bit, back and forth with various different things. And he's like, hey, do this, 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 and this. And so taking his advice, you know, I went ahead and I bought another cut of meat, and I went ahead and threw it in there, and I smoked the living shit out of it, and it came out absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Who tested it?
Dude, no, it was phenomenal. Came out
Who
phenomenal.
tested it though? Who tested it? I want to know. A
Multiple
neighbor,
people.
a friend.
So
Okay.
no, so my landlord tested it, and I also gave it to a couple people at work, and they tested it, and they all loved it.
All right, because I don't know, man. I think you know, coming
and
from
then,
a guy that likes haggis, I think your opinion's questionable. You know, you might have intimidated those people, and they just said it was good because they didn't want to piss you off.
So then I took probably one of the hardest things to smoke that you can smoke, which is a turkey. And I smoked the turkey. And the only reason I did this is because I get a turkey for free every year. You know, technically free because of work, but it's not really free. It's still comes out of my fucking pay one way or another. But you know, I go grab the fucking turkey, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna smoke it, and we'll see what happens.
That's the best way to eat a turkey.
And so I smoked this thing, and I based it every hour on the hour, as well as adding smoke to it and all the rest of it. And I did this thing for like 13 or 14 hours. I forget how many hours it was, like 13 or 14. And this thing was just falling apart. It was so fucking good. Best turkey I've ever had in my life.
Did you cut it and it like just deflated? Like, I don't know, was it lampooned or something? Yeah.
No, dude, it literally just fell apart. It just fell apart. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I took some to the landlord and said, hey, you know, here, try this. And he's like, what the fuck did you do? And I told him what I did, and he's like, dude, you're smoking my turkey for me next year. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever.
You must have got a lot better, because Alan said you couldn't cook for shit.
Dude, you know, here's the thing with Alan. Like, Alan, number one, Alan likes to show up late. Number two, Alan's full of shit, and y'all should know this because
so much so my eyes are brown.
How many channels are out there with the name AllenBePro, Allen be this, Allen be that, so on and so forth? You know, you gotta question it when there's so many avenues out there of the same fucking name.
But that doesn't mean the guy's wrong. I'm just saying, you know, rumor is, you know, the last girlfriend you had died because you made spaghetti.
It just comes into question. It just comes into question. And I'm not. Hey, I'm not saying I'm a chef by any means of the matter, folks. I'm not. But trust me, I know how to fucking cook. I've been cooking a long ass time.
I got a tip for turkey for you guys. You're gonna smoke a turkey, and you heard Scotsman say he basted his every hour on the hour. Try equal parts molasses and soy sauce.
Yep.
I guarantee you'll like it.
TJ's out there asking if I've ever done a whole animal split. It's not huge out here in the States, TJ, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. You know, it's just hard to find huge full cuts out here. You only really find partial cuts for the most part out this way.
How far is the farthest Sam's Club or Costco?
Costco for me is an hour one way.
I wouldn't drive that far either, but
No, and I have a membership, and I do go there when I can. But it's an hour away, and that's if there's no traffic. And I'm top end of Cleveland, so there's always fucking traffic. So it's no matter when you go. You could go on a fucking Monday and think it's going to be quiet. It's not going to be quiet. It's still a pain in the dick, no matter where you go. You're easily an hour and a half one way, and then you're easily another hour to 2 hours in the store, just depending on how many people are there. So you're almost looking at a 5 to 6 hour fucking trip all at once.
no, I wouldn't do that. No. There's plenty of meat services where you can. I don't know if there are up there. Here, most of my beef I get from one guy, and I mean he raises the beef on his property, and you can subscribe to it. So once a month, he drives into town and brings it to a place close to you to pick it up. And you can get a quarter of a cow, half a cow, a whole cow, whatever you want to get from him. Which, that's an awful lot of beef.
Very expensive one time. Getting a cow is not cheap, or half a cow, or any of that shit. That's some money.
Well,
you better have a good freezer.
The good thing is when you join in with him, it's like a co-op. So it's kind of like you're buying your cow and you're paying him to raise it on his property, but then he butchers it. So he's charging you for butchering it and, fattening it up.
Feed and shit like that, I believe, too. Yeah. I've heard of similar things, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just seems like a lot of people don't have $800 to whip out on meat, Very often.
And it's about $600 or $800, depending on how
going right now.
Depending on what you're going for, if you're going for a half or a full or whatever, you're gonna spend some money. But when you literally break it down, the way cost of meat is right now, you're way better off being able to drop that and be able to spend half a cow or a full cow, whatever you can do. If you can do it, do it. Because trust me, you're way better off. The price of meat right now is just fucking insane.
Oh, I'll pay a whole lot less to him for that than I would going to a store and buying that much beef.
I think it varies.
It's ridiculous.
It varies. Meat prices vary as well. So I think it could definitely be a better affordable. It's like buying in bulk. You get things cheaper. But I think the real goal is having, control, knowledge of what's in your meat, where it's coming from, to a lot.
And that's definitely a big thing. Where's it coming from? What is it? Especially today, we know we have people out there that are making 3D printed meat, mechanically separated meat, and
all the hormones,
all the rest of the fucking
all
the rest of the fucking jargon that you don't need to be putting in your body. And so you really got to pay attention to what you're getting at the store, and it's tough. It is tough. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. But I'll tell you, I don't mind people staring at me, because people stare at me all the time, and I really don't care, because I literally will pick up a piece of fucking meat in a package and look at it and read the ingredient list, and I'll stand there, and it may take 2 or 3 minutes to go through and make sure I'm reading everything that's on there, and I'll have people fucking just kind of staring at me. I don't care. I'd rather sit there and make sure I know exactly what the fuck is in that package versus just, they're telling me it's a ribeye and throwing it in my fucking cart and going with it. No, I'm not doing that. I literally sit there and look at everything I'm looking at. I don't want to just randomly pick up anything and throw it in my cart. That doesn't happen.
You can't blindly trust any of it anymore if you truly care, because there's so much shit they're putting into different things. I mean, and then what level do you want to get to? There's a lot of the bioengineered. We try to avoid a lot of that.
One of the biggest ones now that people don't pay attention to is the bioengineered ingredient. And that typically comes, and here's the thing of it. So if you're looking at the ingredient list, and this is another thing, if you're looking at the ingredient list, you go through all your ingredients, and then you have another 2 or 3 lines down below, and then it says may include bioengineered ingredient. So make sure you're really reading through everything and paying attention to every part of it, because when you get so far down, now they throw in may include a bioengineered ingredient. You really got to really watch all of that stuff.
And crackers,
candy,
and
stuff that you
Oreos.
think that is absolutely healthy. All of this is included. Nutri-Grain granola bars. Yeah, you can look it up, and underneath all the ingredients, it says contains bioengineered food product. Yep. So synthetic bullshit.
I just picked up a bag of Doritos with dinner tonight. It's they're called Simple NKD. They're naked Doritos, 4 ranch. I figured I'd give them a try because, you know, there's no dyes, all this stuff. They're more money. And, you know, I don't know. I think everybody's probably got a baseline. We probably all had a Cool Ranch Dorito before, you know. I personally think they taste different and not as good. Now, I realize that's a problem because these are better for you. You know, they're probably still not good, but you know what I mean? Better because they don't have all the dyes and shit. But honestly, if I did a blind taste test, I would prefer the poison one. You know, so it's kind of a problem. Paying more for chips that I don't like as much.
And let's
what do I do?
Let's address this comment, because this comment kind of comes right into play with that. Vanessa Kitty's out there. What meats are you looking at when the ingredients are longer than your arm? See, that's the thing. People typically never look at the actual fucking ingredients, and you know, they just randomly go to the store and they fucking see, oh, it's, you know, X amount of dollars a pound or whatever, and they fucking pick it up, throw it in the cart, and walk away. I'm not that person. I literally pick up everything, whatever I'm looking at, and I look at all of the fucking ingredients. I want to make sure what's in there. Now, is everything absolutely 100% perfect every single time? No, it's never going to be. But I'm trying to find the best products I can find that have the least amount of BS in there that's going to affect me, cause me problems, and all the rest of it. So you have to really pay attention to that. And so, yeah, to her point, yeah, it's, you know, pay attention, look at it. You know, if it's got 20 fucking different ingredients and it's supposed to be a fucking ribeye, why has it got 20 different fucking ingredients? It shouldn't have. Right?
Or peanut butter. Peanut butter doesn't need like 12 ingredients. Or, you know,
right.
A lot of this stuff doesn't, you know, regular flour. Like, you should check flour, because a lot of times flour isn't just flour.
Flour is one of the ones that's probably...
It's pretty crazy.
Flour is one that is absolutely horrible in so many regards because it's bleached and it has so many other different things added to it and all the rest of it. And no one actually pays attention to that. It's bleached. Why would you bleach something that you're going to ingest?
Because they want it white. Real bright.
It's not just because they want it white, but they're literally bleaching it on purpose to cause you more problems. And this is what people need to pay attention to. Pay attention to what's going on, because there's tons of different flowers out there. There are not bleached flowers that have zero extra chemicals and all the rest of it added to it, and they're perfectly good flowers with nothing wrong with them. So
Well, this is
go
one of
do
them
your
rabbit
research.
holes. Yeah, you
Go-
start
go-
looking at all the labels, you're gonna get pissed. Like if you actually start paying attention, and like guarantee half the favorite snacks
and
people
you
love
should get pissed. No, see, this is the
would
thing. You
get pissed
should get
off if
pissed.
they knew it was in it.
No, you should get pissed. This is the thing. You should be. Like I'm always pissed off. I hate going shopping. I absolutely hate it.
Boy, we
Because
got them fired up now.
every single time I go to the store, I go to fucking buy shit, and I'm looking at it and like, motherfucker, more bullshit, more fucking bullshit, more fucking bullshit. And it's throwing shit down and trying to find something that doesn't have all that bullshit in there and finding something that's somewhat clean that I can eat. It ain't gonna fucking kill me.
You finally okay that snack you've been thinking about getting, and you go grab it and look at it, and you're like, Jesus, yeah, I might as well just smoke crack or something. What the hell am I doing with this? I don't want that.
Dude, honestly, I'd probably be better off smoking crack because it literally is so fucking stupid how much shit is and all the stuff they produce.
Well, it's time to start going back to farmers markets and the local meat suppliers.
And our farmers market, not the one local, but some of them in New York have been caught running scams. They just go to like Sam's Club and shit and buy the stuff and then go bring it out like they grew it at home. So pay attention for any like stickers, store labels and shit, because apparently it's been a thing lately. And then they claim it's organic and you're paying higher prices, cheaper than the store, but higher prices for the same shit they're selling at the grocery store. So unfortunately, everybody's out to screw everybody. So check everything you do well these days.
Yeah, if they've got boxes that say product of Mexico on them, you might need to find another farmer's market, a real one.
Right. Or some of those stickers with the product UPC code on it, then it probably didn't just pull that out their field, you know?
Yeah, there's a scam involved. It's a friend of mine, sister worked for Tyson, and she was the liaison between the USDA and Tyson. And she said she had enough when at Christmas they had a Christmas party and invited the USDA inspector and presented him with a set of keys to a brand new Corvette. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're all out to make money. They don't really care about what's good for us. So.
Well, we're inspecting less and less of the food. That's. I watched a video a while back. I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago. It was called Death by China.
Oh boy, don't get me started.
And the conditions that this stuff that they're sending here. Well, the problem is they just said death by China. But then you go into your local Sam's Club or something like that, and you say you wanted to get some shrimp. Why do I want shrimp from Bangladesh?
They're like the world's largest beast or source of seafood, I think, is the Chinese. And they get it off everybody else's coast because everything's dead on theirs. Or toxic.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. That's what I'm getting at. It may say Bangladesh or something else, but the truth is that's where China can get away with everything. You bet if they're buying property right next to our Army bases and Air Force bases here in the United States, they're buying property to raise shrimp, farm raised shrimp on. And you've seen the quality of the water in ponds and stuff in China.
This is a horrible topic, man. Last night I had a dream that I was in China, incapacitated, Somebody kept trying to give me a shot. Other people were trying to give me food. I can only move one arm and leg for some dumbass reason. Apparently, the lady got all pissed off because I kept like elbowing her and putting my leg over and shit. And I was trying to kick and push everybody away from me. And all night long, it seemed like this dream just took all goddamn night. I'm just incapacitated in China. Now you're talking about China.
Yeah,
Jesus, it
hold on.
ruined my whole night, damn it.
Hold on. Let me stop you for a second. Did anyone try to give you a salad?
I don't know, because it's half in and out. There was a lady with a needle, and I was like, oh, hell no, kicking at her.
I'm just saying that would,
making sure my chest's not open. It's horrible.
That would probably have settled you down.
Maybe. I wasn't trying to take anything. And why couldn't I move?
I mean, in China, you never know what the hell you're getting, but I mean,
It's just ironic. We start bitching about China. The toxic stuff and shit. They got issues right now, or they're afraid to eat their own shit because everybody's poisoning each other. Dude, trying to make money. Crazy.
The amount of poison that America puts in its own air is ridiculous. And if you don't think that, you're fucking insane. Literally, you all look up in the skies and we see all these fucking planes flying above and all the rest of it, and all these chemtrails and all that, and y'all think it's just natural shit. It's not natural, man. It's all chemicals. It's all bullshit they're putting in the fucking air. It's all shit that's going in the grass and going in the fucking shit that you're eating, period. That's it. And it's all designed to fucking kill you one way or another. Whether you like it or not, they are trying to fucking kill you.
Yeah, and if you keep drinking the Kool-Aid, you'll be too stupid to care.
And that's the problem. Most people keep drinking the fucking Kool-Aid, and that's the issue, man.
Yeah, they want to kill you all so that you can become a registered Democrat and vote again.
That's probably part of it. We're not good servants yet, so they're still waiting for that perfect generation that doesn't have a backbone in them.
Well,
I was pleasantly surprised to see that they were having some elections out in California. And what was happening was people were flying from all over the nation and going and voting in this because California doesn't require ID in order to vote. And so...
like New York City's been dummy.
Sorry. Please don't mention that name.
Oh man, horrible.
All right, hold on. I got to address a comment out there. All right, so TJ is out in Australia. TJ says he'll turn his camera upside down. TJ, we'd love to have you on, brother. You're more than welcome anytime. Shoot me your email address. We'll get you on here. It'd be awesome. You're more than welcome, dude. So, yeah, absolutely 100%. Send me an email. We'll get you on here.
You said he's from Australia?
Yep.
TJ, okay. You know that Crazy Scotsman is a flat earther.
Well, I would just say there's probably some things that would be good if you do get somebody from Australia on, which, TJ probably speak to this, but maybe he can't. But there's certain things people in other countries you shouldn't get into because their government's different than ours. And right. Especially if he is a gun owner, it is a thing. It's more rare, but basically it goes down to character, not rights. So you get knocked at the door.
And he is, and that's the thing of it. I would love to have him on here with us.
Cautious about things.
I'd love to have him on here. He has a whole different experience as far as guns go. But just like for myself, like back home, It's a whole different freaking experience back home, and it's a disaster back home for me to try and own anything. I've gotten the question quite a lot over the last probably 5 or 6 years from people about would I ever go back home. And I've always told people, and I'll be straight up, and just like I've told them, honestly, I don't mind going home to visit, but would I physically go back home and stay? Probably not. Um, and the reason being is simply this: when it comes to being able to own things and being able to defend myself, I would rather be here than be there. And that may sound bad to some people, but honestly, we have way more freedoms here. Yes, they still infringe. Yes, they still cause us a lot of issues and problems and all the rest of it. But our freedoms are much more here than they are for me back home. And so I would rather stay here and fight the good fight here, and potentially push the good fight from here over there. And so, like I'm always talking to my brother and I'm always talking to other people over there and discussing this kind of stuff as well, where, we got to keep pushing, we got to keep fighting. And they're very limited to what they can do back home for sure. But, if we keep pushing here and we keep fighting here, we can help aid them in the fight. So it's just a big joint conglomerate of us helping them. And yes, technically, I know, there was a whole, civil war and all the rest of it. And yeah, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, what are we all looking for? We're all looking to be free. We're all looking to not have to sit here and argue with government. And we're all looking to sit here and not have to fucking be a subject, because we shouldn't be subjects.
Or be afraid of
We're,
free speech.
we're people. We're not fucking subjects.
Well, the government's supposed to be subject to the people, not the other way around.
Right, but they never
Our
are.
government.
They
government,
never
yeah,
are. It doesn't matter what government. They never are. All they do is try to make you a subject. And that's the problem. And that's where I think if people actually pay attention and understand what's going on, if we all come together and understand this situation, then we can all fight together. And the more and more we push back together, the more and more we're going to be able to accomplish together and get things through to where we're not subjects anymore.
President Ronald Reagan really pointed out the fact, and as a kind of young child or young guy listening to Ronald Reagan, he's like, yeah, I've seen constitutions all over the world. The difference between all the other constitutions and the U.S. Constitution is very, very simple. Their constitutions say what the people can and can't do, and the U.S. Constitution says what the government can and cannot do. But in the case of Scotland, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is no quantified written constitution. It functions under fundamental rules and laws and regulations that are actually governed by the UK Parliament.
Right. So here's part of the problem with for Scotland, for example. So technically, Scotland falls under England. And you all might be like, what? Trust me, we all sit here and go, what? Yeah, no, it falls under England, even though we have a Scottish Parliament. And essentially, what the Scottish Parliament's there for is basically a fucking face. They're there for nothing more than face. They basically do whatever the fucking English Parliament tells them to do, and that's essentially what it is. And I honestly wish it was more. I wish they'd actually fucking step up and do what they're supposed to do. Obviously I'm Scottish. I love my country to death, and I want it to stand up, and I want it to fight, and I want it to be what it's supposed to be. I want it to be what our ancestors were. We're screaming fucking bloody murder and this, that, the other. But unfortunately, at this point in time, that's just not how it is. And even here, like being here, I fought to be here hard. I fought to do all the different things I had to do. I pushed through all the different things I had to do, and I went through all the BS I had to do and all the rest of it. And I wish people here would do the same thing. I'd stand the fuck up and say no more. Fuck you, no. And I don't understand why it's so fucking hard. Literally, just stand up and say fuck you, no. Can you please tell me why it's so fucking hard? Because I just don't get it. I don't. And maybe it's just me. Maybe there's something wrong with me. But in my mind, I just don't understand why people just do not have the ability to pull it out their fucking arse and say, fuck you, no.
So why is that? So ultimately, why is that? Why won't Scotland decide to take its own? Because it basically has its own government structure, even though they just basically answer to the UK in most ways. They have all their own legal district framework in place, and they actually have a complete Scottish government laid out. It's you can look up the Scottish government on the website on the web. Why not just try to become your own entity?
That's always been my big thing. Is I don't understand why they're not pushing harder and harder and harder to make that happen. And again, same thing here. I don't understand why there's not a bigger push from people, because they all technically, the government all works for us, and if that's what they do, then why are we not telling them harder and harder and harder all the fucking time? Hey, we're not happy. Like, fuck you, we're not happy. And this is the problem. So many people sit there, and New Texican said it out in the side chat. So many people are out there fucking brainwashed, and just, I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to get up every morning. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go do my work, come home, buy my gas, do whatever I do, and that's it. And that's all they fucking do. They don't do anything else. They're fucking brainwashed to the point where they think that's natural and that's normal. No, it's not. It's not.
Well, some cultures have been enslaved, through history for quite a long time. Not necessarily enslaved, but conquered or whatever, ruled over. So when you have generations of that, it's a harder cycle to break. And on top of that, I think, I'm not Scottish, but with the Scottish, all those little groups over there, if you kind of think of like, I can't remember the name, but I don't know, I don't know the term, but basically, if they decide to stand up, the nail that sticks out gets hammered, basically. So, and the power control thing, I don't think they have the power or leverage to do a clean separation.
So like a
Or the will.
a prime example here, and we'll go right here in the States. A prime example here would be Native Americans. Native Americans are literally there's so many, but unfortunately, none of them will step up and say, "Hey, yes, this is our land. This is what we do." Blah blah blah. None of them
We
did.
got them all high, bro. They're all fucked up. They can't even,
Well,
they got like
they're all
$20
high and they're all
unless you own
fucked
a
up, but
casino.
they're also paid for. They're also paid and bought for.
Well, that's what I mean. They put them on the government stipend, introduced all the drugs. Like, same thing as the ghetto, basically. Now they're just dependent. Nobody wants to give it up. Unless you're the family with the casino. You want the government. And even they want the government for the tax write-off. But, yeah, I mean, that's a shit. Like, they would have to want a separation. But people, there's always a few fat cats collecting money and fuck everybody else.
Right, and we also got M. Gabriel out there. He brings up a great one. People are blind to history. 100%, man. They also lie to us about history, and that's another thing. They keep changing what history actually says, and so you really got to pay attention to that. Hell, even back when I was in school. They were trying to tell us certain things in history that were completely fucking false. And I called my teacher out, and she just kind of stood there and looked at me, and I'm like, dude, you're full of shit. Like, stop. Like, dude, I'm not gonna sit there and fucking take that shit. Like, if I know it's wrong, I'm telling you it's fucking wrong. And she was fucking full of shit, and I told her she was full of shit. But that's what you got to do. You got to step up and say, "Hey, look, no, I know this isn't right. You're wrong," and boom, and that's it. And that's just what people got to do. And the thing of it is people have gotten so fucking weak and so sitting there going, "Oh, feelings this, feelings that, that are bullshit." That they literally just sit there and accept whatever is fucking told to them. We go and we look at things. Fuck. I mean, hell, we'll just go there. Fuck it. Whatever. I don't even give a shit anymore. We'll just fucking go there. You go look at coronavirus and Ebola and all the other bullshit they're bringing up now, where they got all these fucking things that are magically fucking popping up 6 years later after all the other shit that popped up 6 years prior and 6 years prior and 6 years prior and 6 years prior. Huh. Magical fucking coincidence. But anyway, they keep coming up with this shit, and they keep trying to push this shit, and they keep trying to get you to believe that, oh, we have to do this to make this happen and for everything to be fucking fantastic for everybody. And, if you just listened to us and you just gave us a chance and all this other fucking bullcrap. Dude, no. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck you and your bullshit and fuck you and all the crap you keep trying to feed me. I don't give a shit. I don't. Period. I don't give a flying fuck about the crap you're trying to fucking peddle me. I'm not that guy. And everyone out here on this, watching this, ain't that either. I know they're not. I know. They all believe and understand that, hey, no, we're not sitting here and going to fucking take that shit either.
Well, one of the things, too, I think, for people to stand up and fight, something has to happen that causes them not to be able to just continue to live their life without fighting. And that's kind of what's going on. The government hadn't pushed them hard enough to cause them to revolt.
Well, no, to a certain degree, yes, but I will say
people
to
are
a certain degree, yes. To a certain degree, yes, you're right. But I would say the biggest thing is people just need to have the fucking balls, man. It's literally that's all it is. It's just people are so scared to actually turn around and say "fuck you," no, and that's the problem. They're so scared to say "fuck you," no, and in all honesty, that's all it is. And
Depended on the system, probably. Most people, in some way, your job, everything, is part of the system. You're dependent.
well,
Nobody wants to take a hardship or be the one to go to jail or not be able to pay their bill.
Look, take it. Look at it this way and understand it this way too. All right, so from someone who comes from a country who has been oppressed to a certain degree and has had a bunch of bullshit and all the rest of it, I get it. I understand it. And I'm not a guy that's going to tell you, yes, stand up and say, fuck you. No, I'm not going to take this shit no more. Is it hard to do? Yeah, to a certain degree it can be. But you have, if you're not willing to do it, then how are you ever going to succeed? You're not.
You're
just not.
Yeah.
You're going to sit there.
Look at all the third world countries, like he was saying.
Sit there, you're going to fail. You're going to become a fucking third world country, and you're going to be whatever the fucking government tells you to be. And that's not how you want to live. That's not how anyone should live.
They're rough on a normal day, but when, payments stop coming through, that's when, they start burning everything down and, everybody goes on each other. If it's not towards religion in other places, but, it's what happens. People can't survive, then they get pissed. But,
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at it, we didn't have the racial tension in this country until they started saying, hey, we're going to cut those checks off and tell you what you can actually buy in the grocery store with those EBT cards. You're going to buy healthy food if we're not paying for your ding dongs and your nutty bars and your junk
you
food.
Say racial tension. I mean, have you noticed more? Because I haven't noticed more. I'm in New York. I just noticed it's like welfare people or not is how it seems to be broke out. Not black. There's a lot of white people that were doing.
Wait a minute, though. You look at
welfare shit too.
Look at these states that set up these grocery stores on the government's dollar. I mean, they literally took grocery stores that had gone out of business and then they moved in. Mm-hmm. They stocked the shelves, this, that, and the other. The theft rate was so high, they had to shut the doors.
Yeah, well, some of them were even free, but they couldn't stay stocked. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to work. People run a business to make money. That's the whole point of having a business is to make money.
Well, and a huge part of the problem, just like Edwards out there, and Edwards says, a huge part of the problem is so many people believe whatever the government tells them, and yes, we call that sheep, and that's exactly what people are. They are sheep. They believe whatever they're told. And it's a huge issue.
That's how you get
it's a huge issue, especially when you look at, we've been talking back and forth about ingredients and stuff like that. When you think about the ingredients and stuff and look at that kind of thing, so many people don't actually walk in a store and look at ingredients. And I can tell you that from experience because I'm one of the only motherfuckers I've ever seen walking in a store, grabbing it, picking it up, looking at it, and going, I ain't buying that shit. Fuck that shit. And everyone else is looking at me like I'm fucking nuts. And granted, to a certain degree, yeah, I'm a little crazy, whatever.
Well, it's probably because you're walking around cussing yourself out. Fuck that shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, you look like the crazy guy in the corner.
I'll be the first to admit, yes, you're right, Alan. I do stand there and go, oh, fuck that. I'm not buying this fucking bullshit. Yeah, you're right.
Fucking inked up, big old fucking beard, bald headed fucking fuck that shit. I ain't gonna fucking motherfucker walking around during the fucking nighttime with sunglasses on. God damn.
Yep, 100% right.
let me throw a scenario out there that I think paints the picture for a lot of the problems. And, but it's kind of two-sided. So let me just throw it out here. What if we all convinced Jamie that his employer was crooked as hell and what they're doing isn't right? We just totally disagree with the way it's going. And then he goes in there tomorrow, sits down and gives them a piece of his damn mind, and they write him up as nuts and can him right before retirement. Would it be better for him out of principle to go in there and stand out, or would it be better for him to shut up, finish his couple months, and call it good?
Well,
got
a guy sitting here on the panel that happened to.
Look,
that's the big dilemma, though. The cops got a pension, so they could cost in Rena. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's the major dilemma.
Here's what you gotta understand about Jamie. Jamie don't take no shit.
You know what I'm saying. We're talking extremes, but yeah, we're talking extremes.
Jamie will be the first one to walk in there and just be like, dude, fuck you, I'm done. He's not going to sit there and take...
Jamie goes to work tomorrow, and they instruct him. He's no longer allowed to use the restroom. He's got to use the litter room and go stand in a cat box. Jamie says, God damn you people, and blows it.
I will be the first one to tell you straight up right now that Jamie will tell that motherfucker, go fuck yourself and kiss my ass.
What would you do, Jamie? What would you do?
Honestly,
Jamie's in a different position. Jamie can retire right now if he wanted to.
Right.
So Jamie,
well, what would you do?
I'll have to hang out another 6 months or a year, and I'm done.
In all honesty, if Jamie couldn't pull that out and fucking do that, I'd be very disappointed.
You got to understand, guys, I cleaned that restroom for 30 years, and me and the lady across the street were the only one used it. Now we got a bunch of jacklegs come in here. They can't even work
cat litter around
machine, right? You can't use the you don't even know how to use the paper towel machine, and there's no written instructions. The instructions are literally drawn in pictures at the bottom of the paper towel machine. You grab it with two hands, you pull it down, you grab it again with two hands and you pull it down, and then you pop it, and it's already cut and serrated right there, and it comes apart. Then the next guy that comes in there can grab it with two hands, and he don't have to reach up like this and turn the freaking knob with his wet hands and water's running off and dripping down his elbows. Man, it aggravates me to no freaking end. And
at first, I thought you were talking about my average Thursday night. You grab it with both hands and you pull it down.
On how to operate this system.
Yeah, I mean, it's a freaking paper towel machine. It dispenses paper towels for you to dry your hands. And you can't even do that right.
That sounds extremely complicated, and I'm going to need you to send me a highly detailed email on how to operate the system.
Well, I'll tell you how complicated it is. There's two pictures at the bottom of the machine tell you how to work it.
Are the pictures big enough? Are they in color? Maybe that's the problem.
No, they're outline white drawings, man. They're not
scratch and sniff.
See, that's the problem. People are colorblind. They don't know what the fuck it says.
And you know what's so scary about this is these people that are coming in there, grabbing it with one hand and ripping it, and there's no paper towels left sticking out for you to grab with both hands, are the same people in charge of the security of our network.
I bet they don't do a clean job, Jamie.
Yeah, what is security? What really is secure? Because I'm here to tell you, man, when it comes to anything,
That's a whole another fucking discussion right there.
Yeah, I know.
That can literally go fucking back and forth with everybody. That's a whole another discussion.
Well, locks keep honest people out of stuff.
Well, I quite literally this past week had to show a engineer how to use a bun coffee maker.
Whoop.
Well, damn, those guys make so much. His maid makes his shit. A trophy
He's
wife.
an engineer. He's paid too much. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing, so you got to show him.
Phil Robertson has a video, Alan. You should find it.
About making coffee?
About Phil Robertson shows you how to make coffee with a bun coffee maker in his house.
He was a two filter guy. You put one filter in it to hold the coffee, and you put another one on top so it doesn't run out the sides.
I don't like that because then you might get the paper taste.
Because he puts like a quarter of a pound of coffee in there.
Yeah, he don't believe in weak coffee. He's a man after my own heart.
We had this discussion about coffee last week, and we already discussed this where it's two big giant full scoops, and then half a fucking
man. You're from tea land. Nobody cares what you don't know shit about coffee. Go make a tea, buddy.
I'm pretty sure I ain't drinking tea, motherfucker, so fuck off.
You got tea advice. I might take it, but coffee? Hell no. Hell no. You probably dip butter and haggis in it. Oh, you do dip.
Butter and coffee's not bad.
Where'd he go? What happened to him? Oh, shit. We lost Rob. Rob, are you there? Rob? Earth to Rob. Oh, there you are. Hi.
Yeah, you slimy son of a gun. Probably had butter on your fingers, didn't you?
You got cut off by Scotsman.
Oh, man, guys, we're having some technical difficulties. I really do apologize for everyone out there watching, folks. Please understand, we're having some technical issues. If you've ever been dealing with the internet, you understand this. It's a technical problem, and I sincerely apologize. And hopefully we can have Rob back here in a second. So, there he is.
This Glock loving, pole tossing.
Dude, guys, again, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I mean, these technical difficulties just keep popping up. Technology, internet, all of that. It's just a major issue. I'm so sorry, folks. We try to have as many people on here as we can. I love inviting people, letting them spread their opinion and all the rest of it. And, sometimes, we just have these technical problems. So I really do sincerely apologize.
Okay. We got it.
Yeah.
We got it straightened out. But yeah, man, Tread thinks I should just go in and say F that and just retire. And dude, there's not a day goes by I don't think of that. I'm trying to work till I hit 65. I'm at the point now where I could retire now and bring home as much as I'm making now and not have to go to work every day. But what's a one-eyed fat man supposed to do?
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, man. You got to think about you. You got to think about the wife. You got to think about you know, the grandkids and all the rest of it. And it's, you know, there's more to it than just you, you know, and that's the thing. Like for me, you know, so many people think it's just about me, but it's not. Like for me, I sit here and the only thing I think about is my nephews. I don't think about anything about me. Like, yeah, you know, there's all kinds of shit that I could do this, that, the other. I don't care, man. For me, it's all about my nephews. And so, you know, again, you know, a lot of the stuff that I've done in the past, like all the collecting I do, that's not for me. I get to enjoy the fucking things I have. I get to go out, shoot them, have fun with them, all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, it's me collecting so that if my nephews ever need something, I can go ahead and sell that shit and send them the money and go, hey, here you go. And they don't have to worry about anything. And some people may think that's kind of crazy that someone would do something like that. But to me, you know, it's a good investment. It's a good thing for me to look at and a good way to do it because, you know, I get to talk to them here and there, but I don't get to talk to them a whole lot. But they know that their uncle's here. They know their uncle's got their back. You know, so, you know, it's a small thing. You know, some may say it's bigger than a small, but to me, it's a small thing. I'd rather make sure they're taken care of, looked after, and I can do what I can do on this end of it and not have to worry about, you know, potentially what they may have to deal with.
So in Scotland,
luckily for me, no woman in her right mind would have children with my brother, so I don't have to worry about that.
Oh, but there's plenty of women that aren't in their right mind, Alan.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like that too. So.
Yeah, I just didn't meet the right one for that's not in the right mind.
99%. They're all nuts. I've got a theory.
Oh, they're all
the wars, all the fights guys get into. It all relates back to women. It's like a primal thing. Everything's cool when it's just a guy. As soon as a girl gets in the group, somebody gets dirty looks, something gets started. Next thing you know, everybody's up against the wall. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's women.
Are you trying to say women are a problem?
I'm just saying, guys do stupid shit, and 90% of the time it's because of a woman, one way or another.
Dude, you opened your mouth. No, you're.
Oh shit! I'm just joking around, baby. I love you.
Folks, if you hear any abnormal noises, please do not call 911. I guarantee Rob's okay. He just opened his mouth.
It was nice knowing you, Rob.
It's been fun. It just ain't been real fun.
Yeah, Rob, we appreciate
well,
it.
I'll add, we invented a bunch of shit because of women too. I mean, you know, the car because we wanted to drive to go see you, right, guys? Electricity because we couldn't stand and not see you in the dark, like, you know, washer machines because of afternoon sex.
He's trying to make up for all the shit that he just caused.
The truth is, men and
hey, we did this because of women. We did this because of women.
Right. They all agree, babe. They all agree.
I would like to personally thank the man that created yoga pants and also slap him at the same time.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We've all been to Walmart.
Alan, do you know who the man who created the yoga pants?
Well, I can bust out the Google flu and find out, but no, I do not.
Because I would love to know, because I would love to thank that man too.
Well, I'd like to write him a letter. I think there should be a size cutoff. No disrespect, But when it's
I-
see-through and it's 450 pounds, it's just, there's nice and there's sloppy. I don't appreciate the sloppy grandma
Or did you see
downtown.
No
the
one
women
does.
that were-
No one does. But
that
I'm
raided the Lulu
pretty
mine
sure.
over-
I'm pretty sure we
Or
can
the
all
guy
agree.
that hasn't shaved in 2 weeks. That
I'm
It's
pretty
clearly
sure
a
we can
guy.
all agree as men that we want to thank the man that invented yoga pants because, god damn. Yes, sir. Thank you, and yes, sir. I'll take some more.
Well, I mean, the man is a multi-millionaire now. His name is Chip Wilson. Yeah, Chip. Chip now owns a small women's designer clothing store by the name of Lululemon. Yeah,
Did you
he's
see the
he's
raid on
rich
the
as fuck.
Lululemon?
Damn.
Have you
Well,
seen
then
the
they
video
shouldn't
of the
complain
raid?
when there's a bunch of black girls in there stealing shit and shaking their ass.
Yeah, with butts that are at least 42 inches wide, and then Lululemon stealing jogging pants.
Yeah.
Or
No, I'm just kidding. I don't condone
Hey,
stealing.
I'll be
all.
one of the first to say, man, I like big butts, and I cannot lie. I do. I like big butts, man.
Okay. That's good.
Hey, I'm just being straight up with y'all. I don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna say shit. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, you're in New York, so that's probably a good option not to say too much.
Oh no! Now I think the lady's gonna show up in the chat. I think we got her curious.
Yeah,
She's grabbing her phone. Change the topic, God damn it! Change the topic.
We're probably all screwed at this point. New Mexican, probably not. I'll just keep my mouth shut at this point.
Well, I got a quick round vote here. Quick round of votes. So, if you could only have 4 calipers, what would those calipers be? If you could only have 4 calibers, what would those calibers be?
All right.
Now we're talking just handguns, right?
Handguns, rifles, shotguns, everything. Only 4.
Everything.
Everything, and you can only have 4 calibers.
And we're not talking like, grenade launchers, nothing like. We're just speaking regular firearms, right?
Oh yeah, you can have grenade launchers. It don't matter.
Oh, come on! You're gonna make this difficult.
It does not matter. Does not
No,
matter. But you can only have 4 calibers.
I'll keep it simple. We'll go 9mm, 44, 45 long Colt, or 45 Colt, however you want to say it. I prefer 45 Colt. That's just me. And 454 Castle.
I can give my simple list. If I could only have 4 on the simple side, I would throw. I'm going 5.56, 308, probably 12 gauge, and crazily 22. But on the complicated side, I'm throwing a Mark 19 in there at least, and maybe an M134. I know I'm not Rambo, but you know what I mean. Still.
Well, you're in New York, so we know you're not Rambo.
But caliber wise, but yeah.
Very well, very well. Bama Dad. Decisions.
Well, .223, 12 gauge. And since I've already got one, 300 PRC. That gets me a 30 cal and lube more than a 308. So I'll be a happy camper.
Treads with the 350.
Edward is pretty close, and then we got Tread out there, 357, 44, 30-06, 444. And let me justify your options. So, like for me, I justify them basically because most of what I have is going to relate to pistol and rifle, so I can utilize both. And then, like with 454 Casull, I just love that round. It's a freaking awesome round. I don't have anything chambered in that yet. It's on the list. Definitely on the list. I've shot quite a bit of 454 Casull, and I love that freaking round. So definitely on the list. But yeah, no, it's just things that make sense to me. And work together, pistol and rifle work together.
Well, I'm chomping at the bit to hear what Jamie has to say.
We know one of Jamie's already.
We do.
What's your favorite round?
Well, help me out. If you know already,
it's the one you always talk about. You always say it's the best caliber.
270 Winchester?
Yeah.
Well, it is.
So that was going to get you meat in the freezer.
Yeah, it's going to put meat in the freezer. I'll go with 270, 38, 44. And I can't decide between 30-30 and 35 Remington. Probably 35 Remington.
And what are you shooting the most right now?
What I shoot the most right now is probably 6.5 Creedmoor.
And you're not going to give any credence to that one at all.
If I can only have 4. I'm of the opinion
It's not like I'm launching grenades on. So.
Well, I always look at it like this. I need a point blank tool. I need a tool for controlling a crowd. That's a 12 gauge. I need a self-defense rifle, which is going to get me the 223. And then I need something to reach out and touch somebody. And that's
Walter's got a good comment out there. Can I show that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we always. Is that a new powder? I think your shotgun powders and your semi-auto handgun rounds are pretty much the same powder. And I would probably go as far as to say if it'll work in a shotgun, it'll work in 9mm, probably 40 Smith & Wesson, and probably 38 as well. But yeah, that's a good one, man. That's good to know. Like, for example, one of my favorites is 800X. Also, while I got the floor just for a second, I want to say hey to my brother CW2A out there. He's got a good list. He's only got 3 on his. Need one more, brother. And I want to give an award tonight for the best comment so far in the side chat to our buddy Ozzy. That to me is the best comment in the side chat so far tonight.
That's funny. Yeah, there should be some basic rules with it.
And I want to
I've seen some things I don't want to.
I want to
I mean, I'm not gonna say there doesn't have to be a license because, I mean, I think we've all seen some shit in yoga pants that we don't want to see in yoga pants. Yeah, I could tend to have to agree that you might have to have a license. I can.
Or at least know how to size them properly. Don't wear them when they're they're designed to be tight already.
Not wear them, and yeah.
Don't get two sizes too small
cottage
because
cheese bubbly stuff isn't good when it's all see through like that too.
This giant muffin top on it, it just.
I mean, it just kind of goes back to. It just kind of goes back to like when we went to the store, Alan. We went to the store and we were buying beer and some other things, and we get to the register, and you're looking at me and I'm looking at you, and we're like, is that a dude? Is that a woman? Is that a dude? Is that a woman? And we kept going back, and none of us could figure out what the fuck it was.
And just for the record, people,
bigger mustache. It had a bigger mustache than both of us put together. That was the fucking problem.
For the record, we're not. I'm not knocking anybody, so I don't want to put people down. You might be beautiful inside and need to do some work. That's on you, But it's one of them things. Like, it would be awkward for me to go to the grocery store wearing one of them banana hammocks. Everybody's gonna look at me funny. It's just what it is. So it's one of them things. You know what I mean? It's not a good look. It's a what the hell is wrong with this guy look. You know what I mean? So there's a difference. Everybody do their thing, but just do it tastefully. That's all it is.
I don't know. Skinny jeans and some red stilettos might do you good.
Who, me? Hell no, man. Hell no.
Oh, Jesus. No. Hell no. No.
No, for me, of course, one of the most common 9mm, but I'm not going to go 9mm. So I would do 10mm, 5.56, really debating upon the 12 gauge. But in all actuality, I can't really see all that far, but I still want me a 50 BMG. And it's just too much down home fun. 22 long rifle.
Attaboy. 22 covers so much shit, from serious shit down to regular shit. 12 gauge, base, almost the same thing. And what's his name was saying crowd control, but also you got the deadly funnel. You have hallways, you have doorways. If you're barricaded somebody in an area, shotguns are great. It's not an area weapon per se, but depending on your loads and stuff, no man walks through a shotgun. Like, it's just doesn't really happen. So,
unless you're hunting birds with Dick Cheney.
Yeah. And it depends on load, shots, and stuff. But also, yes, you can hunt with a shotgun as well. It's a very universal tool, but also has a couple defensive applications. So all with you, man.
Well, coming from someone that's actually shot 50 BMG and actually shot 50 BMG without ears, and y'all can take that for what it's worth. It's a fantastic round to shoot. I love that round, 100%. Would I go do it again? Yes, 110%. Absolutely would shoot that round again. Would I shoot it again without ears on? Fuck no. That was the dumbest thing I ever did. And for those that are wondering why that happened, it was pretty simple. I got there, was more focused on making sure I wasn't gonna get smacked in the eyeball by the scope than I was about anything else, and stupidly didn't put my fucking ears in when I pulled the trigger.
Did it have a brake on it?
Yeah, it had a brake on it, but I mean, again,
luckily, that makes a difference, and that's not always a good difference.
I was behind the gun, and when I pulled the trigger, it wasn't it wasn't massive concussion, but I mean, I fucking felt it. But yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing. Lessons learned. But yeah, no, it's a fantastic round. I would shoot that thing all day long if I could. Obviously it's fucking expensive as hell. But yeah, no, great round. If you can do that and you want to do that, absolutely go ahead and shoot it, man. Just take your time. Be aware of what you're doing. Be aware of your situation. Be aware of making sure your ears are in and all the rest of it. And yeah, have fun with it, dude. It's an awesome round, great round, and it'll go a long fucking way.
The only time that I have actually scoped my own eyeball was with a 50 BMG, and it was partially due to the situation. It was a little bit of pressure going on and bad positioning, but it was a position that pretty much had to be in at the time. And yeah, I was more concerned about making the shot than getting myself taking more time and everything else. I honestly I didn't have the time. And it was a make this shot now situation. And yep, I split my eyebrow open and didn't care. I did not care. Made the shot. That's all that was extremely important in that moment. Was told like 10 seconds later, hey, you're bleeding down your face. I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing is like when I took that shot on the farm, I literally pulled the trigger, and I had like I would say at least 6, maybe 8 people look at me and be like, did that just fucking happen? And they all fucking said it at the same time. And as soon as they all said it, I realized I didn't have my ears in, and I pulled my fucking ears up, put my ears in, and I go right back on the gun, and I reset and pull the trigger again. And they're all just like, holy fuck. And I'm just like, dude, I'm having fun. Like, I don't care. I'm okay. Like nothing's wrong. Like, yeah, it was fucked up, but we're okay, and we're going again. If I had been off to either side of it and didn't have my ears in, yeah, I would have been absolutely fucking screwed. But being behind the gun and in position, I was okay. And it's just, being aware of what you're doing, what's going on. Again, you just take your time. I fucked up. And I always tell people, and I always admit to people when I fuck something up. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. You know, we all fuck shit up as we go out in the range. It happens.
Well, yeah, treads. It's pretty damn loud, but when you're directly behind that gun, it's not quite as bad. The brakes, most of the brakes that they have on them direct everything out at almost a 45-degree away from the shooter. And it helps a lot more than you could possibly imagine.
Originally I thought that I was having some hearing issues in my left ear after the fact. And then I did a hearing test 6 or 8 months later, and they're like, "Oh, you got perfect hearing." And then I was kind of sitting there going, "Wait, what?" Like, I literally find a fucking 50 BMG with no ears, and you're telling me I got perfect hearing. Like, yeah, your hearing's great.
That's like, when you shoot on Thanksgiving, your ears are still ringing at Christmas.
Dude, I couldn't fucking believe it, but they said my hearing was still perfect and all the rest of it, and I'm like, you're full of shit. Yeah, no, it's being behind it was the key, you know, and again, if I was kind of off to the side somewhere, that's where it would have been an issue. A lot of people were freaking out when it happened, but all in all, you know, there was no issues with it, and you know, the shot was terrible. I'll tell you straight up, the shot was fucking horrible. I didn't even get close to the fucking bullseye. I was way off. And I'm not surprised. You know, I'd never shot such a big caliber, and I've never shot something like that. So, really not surprised that kind of happened. You know, again, I was more focused on making sure I wasn't getting smacked in the fucking eyeball. So, you know, that was my main focus, and so, you know, everything else was off killer and all the rest of it. So you pull that trigger and you're focused on other things. It's not going to always end up the way you want it to.
Well, it's definitely one gun that you can take to the range and underwrite the cost of the gun by charging $6 a round to let people shoot it.
Oh yeah, it's not cheap, man. It's not cheap by any means to shoot.
Nothing about that gun, nothing that goes with it, or nothing that's made for it's cheap.
No, absolutely not, man.
Not if it's a Barrett, anyway. Then you got those, like, what was that piece of junk that Kentucky Ballistics
blew up
on him?
But he was running a slap round or whatever, so yeah.
Take that for what it's worth. He did basically
a higher pressure.
Here, you gotta watch, and some people might get pissed off when I say this, but you gotta watch when it comes to his channel, because he does a lot of shit that's he does on purpose just to fucking blow shit up and cause issues.
Showmanship.
Clicks, man.
You know, it's literally just for fucking show and for views, and just be careful what you watch.
He's the new Demolition Ranch.
I've shot 50, but I guess different in a sense. Like a tripod mounted. I've had to carry them. Like a lot of people, I don't think they realize what's all involved, but there's a lot of weight. Tripod, extra barrel, ammo. It's usually like a 3-man operation. Plus, you're carrying your own shit too. So it's like moving these. This is like I love 50, but unless I'm taking vehicles out, power plants, like equipment, I really don't need personally. But I would, if I could have whatever I wanted, I'd have a couple. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of them things I think is on a lot of people's list, and then it just sits there and gets talked about and shot every couple of years when a new friend wants to check it out, because it's just not practical in most civilian situations, in my opinion.
No, it's not. The only way that gun's practical is if somebody else is paying for the ammo.
Right, like Uncle Sam. Oh, you're
Exactly.
rich.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to own one. It's just, good luck feeding it and taking care of it, cleaning it, and yeah, it's a machine. It's it's work. It's not just something you look at, In some cases, well, I don't know. It depends on your form or what you're doing, but again, if I could, I'd have a few, but it's not something I would use on a normal day. Or, I would cry every time I took it out with a friend. Just every round, I mean, that shit's expensive, man. Like, and then you can't just take it anywhere. Like, that's another problem. You can't just, your local range ain't going to be cool with you showing up with a 50. Some you might, maybe, but a lot of them, especially indoor ranges, forget about it.
No, that shit adds up fast, and yeah, indoor ranges typically ain't fans of a 50. You typically need to be on an outdoor range for sure. And even if you do get a range that's okay with you shooting the 50 outdoors or indoors, you're still probably going to run into some kind of issue just because of the size of the caliber of what it is. And it could just be something as simple as, hey, we got to make sure our backstop's good, this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. There's all kinds of things you can walk into. And just, if you're going out there to shoot something like that, don't be surprised and don't be pissed off. Just understand that, hey, they're operating the range. Let them do their thing. And if they're saying, hey, we need you to do this, or this, just so you can shoot it, don't be an asshole about it. Just sit there and go, okay, if you need me to do this and work with you this way and work with you that way, then do that. Don't sit there and be a prick about it, because at the end of the day, when you walk into a range, you're shooting such a large caliber, you're at their discretion, because trust me, there's a lot that goes into a backstop, and there's a lot that goes into making sure that things stay right and the way they're supposed to be and all the rest of it. When you walk in with a big ass caliber like a freaking 50, yeah, you're causing problems, and problems they don't want. And so, yeah, you need to sit there and listen to what you're being told and just take it for what's granted, and do as they ask you to do, and just walk through the process. That's it. And at the end of the day, if you do so, you'll walk out a happy customer. Things will be good. Everyone will be okay. There won't be no issues. But you start trying to cause problems because they're saying, oh, hey, we need you to do this, we need you to do that, blah, blah, blah. And you start trying to stir shit up. Yeah, now we've got problems, dude. But there really shouldn't be. Just understand you're shooting a big-ass caliber. So they have certain precautions they're taking, and that's understandable. Let them take their precautions. Do what you want to do. Shoot, shoot what you want to shoot and all the rest of it. But just
even gun people get nervous sometimes.
listen to what
liability.
they're telling you, and just make sure you're understanding the situation. That's it.
I just can't understand anybody wanting to shoot that on an indoor range.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've literally seen people walk in with bigger calibers than that in an indoor range, and want to shoot it, and I've had to turn them around and say, hell no, absolutely not. And they go, why not? And I literally look at them like, dude, it's an indoor range. Are you fucking stupid? And literally just tell them they're fucking stupid.
Yeah, Vanessa asked what range could you take out, say, a caribou with a 50 BMG,
2 miles?
at least a mile if you could hit it. That's the problem, is getting your dope in your scope. But yeah,
There used to be a video on YouTube of one of the Middle Easterners standing up on a ridge line. They shot him with a 50 cal, and a leg came flying off and going through the air. And that was at 1 mile.
I seen one where it was downhill. There was a downhill angle, and it was.
Well,
it was
I think
It's devastating.
if I remember right, the longest recorded military shot right now is like 2.5 miles, somewhere around there. It's up there. It's a stupid fucking distance.
Is that still the one that the Canadian guy had?
It's like 2.5 miles or somewhere around there. And that's just again, stupid ass distance, but these guys do this for a living. They're out there. They take their time. They practice and all the rest of it. So it's not hard to believe that it's doable, and it is doable. Just take your time. And just like when I'm teaching people and talking to people in general, walking through, how to shoot, take your time, breathe.
I think there's some luck. When you start talking miles, I think there's little luck with that, because in pattern and being able to read from here to there. I mean, you're countering different winds, the humidity. There's a lot to that shit. Even if you're good, I think that's a lucky shot, man.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like I've done some stupid shots, man. I've shot 200 yards with a pistol, and hit a fucking coat.
Yeah, but when you start talking miles, that's a different game.
No.
That's a different game. I've lobbed some 22s like mortars, but there's a difference.
But even like 200 yards with a kilt can, that's fucking that's fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah, I'm not trying to discredit you. I'm just saying it's a different game. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, 100%. Totally different.
It's the same. There's technique, skill, and luck. But there's a lot to that.
I've done some long fucking shots, but that's just that's one of my longest ones with a pistol. And that's a stupid shot with a pistol. People just gotta, again, if you take your time, you relax, you breathe, you understand what you're doing, and pay attention. Yeah, you can pull off a lot of shit. It's not as people make it out to be harder than what it is. It's really not that hard if you take your time, pay attention, and you breathe. And the biggest thing that I find with a lot of people, and again, like I said earlier, I've been teaching people for years. One of the biggest things they do is immediately when they go to pull that fucking shot, they stop breathing. And if they stop breathing, guess what happens? You pull it left, right, up, down, whatever. You're pulling it one way or the other because you ain't breathing. Stop.
I think it's good to point out that the professional long range shooters, Jamie may know, you guys may know a little bit, but there might be long range shooters out there. The gongs they shoot at they're freaking huge. They're like the size of a table. Like, they're big.
Yeah.
Hitting a person is a different game, man. That's
Oh,
tight.
huge.
Like that's from
Again,
miles.
one of the
That's pretty
longest
damn good.
shots, one of the longest shots in recorded history in military history is over 2 miles, and that was a kill shot with a headshot. And dude, that's fucking insane. Over fucking 2 miles headshot. And so yeah, dude, you just
That's not
again,
a shot
just,
I'd want to bet my life on.
If you really pay attention to what you're doing, you pay attention to all the things that you're in control of, and you understand your gun, you understand your scope, all of that stuff, and again, pay attention to the wind and what's going on around you. There's so many things that come into play. But at the end of the day, if you're able to do all of that, then yeah, you can pull off something like that. It's a hell of a fucking shot to pull off, but it's doable because it's been done. And that's all there is to it. It's been done, and there's nothing else to that. With that being said, we're right around time. So we'll start going through the room. Rob, we'll start with you, man. What you got?
Not much. Appreciate the break. I've been nursing a lady back from a surgery, so been going kind of stir crazy around here. But
you called me out last week, bitching and whining and crying, so I had to make sure I showed up again this week.
Good. I appreciate it. Because God knows what she would have had me doing. But anyway, eat a salad, stay cool, people. Don't take no shit. And that's pretty much all I got for you.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you, and I do appreciate you calling me off. Trying to be here as much as I can be. So thank you. Keep calling me out. It's okay. I'm not gonna get mad.
Yeah, well, the people get into a routine, and you just go ahead and screw up their day to go get your nails done.
I know. I appreciate you calling me out. So thank you, brother.
No problem.
Bama Dad, what you got?
I guess I'll be hanging the disco ball in the shooting room and the reloading room. Other than that, not a whole lot. Now, seriously, I got a bunch of Omni wall to hang and get that up, and still waiting on my ordered a surface mount from Inline Fabrication so that I can clean my bench top up and have more room on my bench top. And I went ahead and got the inline plate so that you can take your quick change, with your whole press and hang it on the wall, and trying to figure out if that's going to hold up or not. I'm not real fond of. I'm gonna have to reinforce it.
Well, hopefully it works out for you, man. I've got a bunch of inline stuff, and I've not had any issues with it so far.
No, I never have. I love it.
But if you do have some kind of issue, I just say reach out to Dan. Dan's a good dude. Never had an issue with him. Anytime something's happened, I've reached out to him, and he's been good about it. So. I just said reach out to Dan, and he'll take care of you. I wouldn't worry too much about where you're at. Jamie, what you got going on, brother?
I bought primers today.
Uh-oh.
At Cabela's, and they were affordable. Well, somewhat affordable. Yeah, like 65 taters for a brick, so that ain't too bad.
not terrible.
You can't get them online that cheap.
That's what I thought. Yeah, they ought to be. Well, they ought to be about 40, but those days are gone.
right around 40 taters, but you know,
and
it is what it is.
By my dad, they had 8-pound jugs of Rotumbo.
How much?
I don't remember, but they're just sitting there on the bench. I mean, it's great to see reloading stuff back in stores, guys. Now,
Yeah.
Whether you can afford to take it home with you or not, that's different.
Yeah, I think I'll still continue to buy 1-pounders from now for a while.
Yeah, but good to see CW out there. Good to see all you guys out there. Thanks for coming and hang out with us, and I appreciate you having me, Scotsman. And yeah, y'all have a good week. Be blessed.
Yeah, man. We always appreciate you, brother, and we always appreciate everyone out in the side chat. Guys, again, thank you. Really appreciate you. Awesome to see everyone out there. With that being said, let me throw it over to my one good brother to take us out the correct way, if you would, sir.
Oh man, the Thompson gun I've put on the wayside because in all actuality, I'm getting tired of going like this and like this every single time I go to reload a round. So on top of that, I need to get some more dies for my 750. So I might be thinking instead of sinking some money either into a new 750 or just upgrading the one that I've got. Nevertheless, I don't plan on making a video this week. It's more than likely going to be more than I can handle or more than I care to do. But what I do want you to do is keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!